This game is so scary. It is. It is a scary game. I'll happily agree with that sentiment. I am absolutely beyond stuffed with food. I just tweeted a picture of it.
Nice jump, Alistair.
Mega number 14 underscore just resubbed for 8 months.
Ugh. Just went to Greek Unique on Heathrow in Twickenham. That is the mixed grill for 2. That is, there were 3 skewers, big old sausage, tzatziki and some other dip. This is all kebab meat underneath, and then beneath that is a layer of chips. I could barely move. Ugh. Greek Unique, baby. Greek Unique. There were 4 of us there eating. We got some gigantes, which are like massive baked beans, which are really, really good. Halloumi, grilled halloumi, and then they brought us some pitta, and we took home about half of that. I'm just absolutely stuffed. I'm going to have a little lie down later. Oh. Oh, so there's a Steins in Kingston. There's also one in Richmond along the river, and the one in Kingston is really nice. When it gets a little warmer and you can sit outside, it's really, really lovely. The one in Richmond is really, really lovely too, and you can combine it with a nice walk along the riverside. So what we do is we walk into Twickers, into Richmond from Twickers. We go up the river, pay for the little ferry across, walk up that far side of the river, the Richmond side of the river, past Ham House and all the rest of it, past a field of cows, and you feel like you're in the countryside. And then there it is, Steins, and you pop in there, have some Bratwurst, some Bratkartoffeln und Bretzels. Mit, I normally have a pint or a massive, a gross of beer. Oh my god, that is a Sunday right there. That does sound good, Lloyd. Pork and apple, that does seem to be the combo, doesn't it? Stuffed. Jesus, that's loud. That was a song, apparently. Something to do with the Walking Dead. John Xfire posted that, retweeted that. I wish he hadn't.
Montakis raided with 27 viewers.
Thank you, Munt. I'm ready for tonight, but I'll have to have a lie down first. I'm absolutely stuffed. Got to watch The Last of Us as well. Man. I tell you what, the Tarkov subreddit is not a happy place. Is it out to dat? I don't know. I thought it came out on Saturdays. Oh, here's a Vox. Why we all need subtitles now? I thought it was just me.
I watch a lot of movies and TV. On the train, at home, in the movies, while working out, doing dishes, in the bath. But no matter where I'm watching, I find myself constantly doing this one thing.
I think it'll always be alright.
What?
I think it'll always be alright. I think it'll always be alright. I think it'll always be alright.
It turns out this isn't unusual. We polled our YouTube audience, and about 57% of people said that they feel like they can't understand.
I thought I was alone in this. I really thought this was just me. Yeah, but you can't have a film where you can't understand what people are saying. You know what I reckon it is? I reckon it is you've got an awful lot of people who are not trained actors who are now fucking actors, and you can't understand what the cock they're saying.
Understand the dialogue and the things that they watch unless they're using subtitles. But it feels like this hasn't always been the case. So to figure out what was going on, I made a call.
Hi, my name is Austin Olivia Kendrick. I'm a professional dialogue editor for film and TV. I basically perform audio surgery on actors' words.
Do you watch the subtitles?
I do, actually. I do, a lot of the time.
So, why do you think that we all feel like we need subtitles now?
I get asked this question all the time. All the time. It's something that it doesn't have a simple, straightforward answer. It's very layered and very complex.
Okay.
And after talking to Austin for almost 2 hours, it's true. It's a very layered and complex topic.
What? That's unfortunate. He did a 2-hour interview with her and that's it?
But everything kept pointing back to one main thing. Technology that got us from this
You should be kissed and off.
No, Richard, no, what has happened to your love?
to this.
Mom, I just woke up. I'll slim waist it.
Let's start with microphones. I'm gonna use this clip from Singin' in the Rain to show how mics used to work.
Oh, this is funny.
You talk, Todd.
So I watched this the other day, oddly enough.
Sound goes through the cable to the box. A man records it on a big record in wax.
This scene illustrates some of the difficulties and intricacies of early sound recording. Mics were big, bulky, temperamental, and required creative solutions to be hidden. They were wired and recorded onto hard memory, like wax and eventually tape. No matter how many actors were in a scene, all sound got recorded to one track.
Wow.
So performers had to be diligently focused and facing a certain angle so that their words could be picked up. Otherwise, you couldn't hear a thing.
But technology's improved to the point where microphones don't impede performance as much anymore. They've become better, smaller, wireless, and we use more of them to ensure that performances get captured.
What we typically are working with from production dialogue is 2 boom microphones, and then every actor has at least 1 lavalier microphone hidden somewhere on them.
These shrinking mics have given actors the flexibility to be more naturalistic in their performances. They no longer need to project so that their words reach the mic. They can speak softly knowing that the tiny mic hidden on their body will pick up what they're saying.
And my personal favorite example of this performance shift is Alec Baldwin on 30 Rock. In a 2011 speech/roast, Tina Fey says that he speaks so quietly that she can't hear him when she's standing next to him. And then you play the film back and it's there somehow.
Just listen to this whisper off between him and Will Arnett.
I'm not afraid of you. Yeah. Well, you should be. Let's just see how it all shakes out in the meeting.
Naturalism isn't always the best for intelligibility, though. Take Tom Hardy, an actor that I personally love, but who famously is a mumbler.
Your ass would still be floating around in Missouri right now if it wasn't for me.
I mean, the mic picked that line up fine. Like, we can definitely hear that he's talking. He's saying something. But once that mumble gets recorded, it's onto a dialogue editor's shoulder to make it as intelligible as possible.
And that was a lot harder when everything was analog. While you could pick the best takes and physically splice them together, if some piece of dialogue was
Truly impossible to understand, then actors will come in and re-record those specific lines in a process called ADR, or Automated Dialogue Replacement.
Anyone remember that? I talked to Barzini. Let's see if I can find the line.
What do you think is going on here? You think you can come to my hotel and take over? I talked to Barzini. What do you think?
Do you see that? You see the way they've re-recorded that dialogue? I remember that jumped out at me. Every time I see The Godfather, that jumps out at me as so weird.
What is going on here? You think you can come to my hotel and take over? I talked to Barzini.
It's like a different actor has recorded that line.
Which you can see Meryl Streep do in this scene from Postcards from the Edge.
There's enough money in the world to further a cause like yours.
That still gets done today, but
ADR also costs money because you're not only paying for the actor's time, you're paying for the engineer's time and then the editor's time. So we try to do ADR, frankly, as little as possible.
And so a lot of her job is making words sound better.
The show I'm currently working on, I remember in the middle of this one word, there was just this loud metal clang that I couldn't remove. So I had to go in and I had to find an alternate take of it that fit, and then I had to fit it to the movement of her mouth in that moment and then push it in.
And once she's done with it, it's sent off to a mixer who works to make sure the frequencies of the sound effects and music don't overlap with the frequencies of the human voice. something that's only possible now that the world has moved away from tape and into digital recordings.
That is a big challenge, carving out those frequencies, that space amongst every other element of the mix for the dialogue to be able to punch through and not be all muddied up by
Take note, Christopher Nolan.
any other sounds that exist in that band of frequencies.
But even with all that work, lines of dialogue can still be hard to understand.
The kind of feeling has been, if you want your movie to feel quote-unquote cinematic, you have to have wall-to-wall bombastic loud sound. A lot of people will ask, like, why don't you just turn the dialogue up? Like, just turn it up. And if only it was that simple. Because a big thing that we want to preserve is a concept called dynamic range. The range between your quietest sound and your loudest sound. If you have your dialogue that's going to be at the same volume as an explosion that immediately follows it, the explosion is not going to feel as big.
That's a big part of it. Ugh.
You need that contrast in...
Ugh. So fucking full. Oh man. I may have eaten too much. Was Richard Harris in Guns of Navarone? Huh. So, one problem I've got with the dynamic range thing is that I'll quite often be watching a film and there'll be dialogue followed by an action sequence, and you end up just sitting on the volume control the whole time you're watching the movie. Do you know what I mean? You're sort of like, you're sitting there, turning it up for the dialogue and turning it down for the... It's a bit much, isn't it? But in the movies as well, it seems it's so loud now. Feels like it's really loud. Everything's just loud.
Volume in order to give your ear a sense of scale.
But the thing is, you can only make something so loud before it gets distorted.
So if you want to create that wide dynamic range, you have no choice but to push those quieter sounds lower instead of pushing the louder sounds louder.
So explosions go up and dialogue comes down.
Which brings us to the Christopher Nolan of it all.
Here we go.
Structure within the other.
Nearly every film of his has been criticized for its hard-to-hear dialogue that essentially begs for subtitles. But as his headline explains, he likes it that way. According to an interview in a book called The Nolan Variations, he said that he gets a lot of complaints, even from other filmmakers, who would say, "I just saw your film and the dialogue is inaudible." The truth was, it was kind of the whole enchilada of how we had chosen to mix it. And in his 2017 interview with IndieWire, he said, "We made the decision a couple of films ago that we weren't going to mix films for substandard theaters."
And this is kind of the crux of the matter. The content that we watch here and here and here is not mixed for us primarily.
Re-recording mixers mix for the widest surround sound format that is available. Typically, like big release films, that is Dolby Atmos, which has true 3D sound up to...
When I watched Tenet in the cinema, there was an awful lot of time spent. You could hear people saying, "What did he say?" Literally, you could hear. And there would be a line of dialogue, and you could hear people wondering aloud, what was that? What is happening? What is going on? Tenet is a film with a lot of exposition, a lot of dialogue. Having watched it now, I've seen it, I think 3, maybe even 4 times. Because I know there's a really good movie under there. And the 4th time I watched it the other week, really enjoyed it. Because now I kind of know what's going on. I haven't seen it in maybe over a year, so I didn't mind seeing it again. But I'm a rewatcher of films. I'll watch a film over and over again if I really like it, to try and really find every detail in it. And I just love watching films. I just love it. So Tenet is a decent movie. I think at times it's really good. At other times, initially I remember seeing it and being a little disappointed. I didn't feel that it had the same impact that, say, Inception had. I thought when I first saw Inception, I thought this film is incredible, and I really liked it, and watched it again. So John Wick 3 is dreadful, isn't it? But it is what it says. I mean, it's literally a guy fighting for 2 hours or whatever. I mean, that's the film, and you know, it's an action movie. It's a pure action movie. I don't think Tenet is. It's an action. It's in the action genre, but it's more of an action thriller than anything else. So I don't see John Wick as like a movie. It's more like a comic book, really. So when I think about Tenet, there are multiple times in there where a character delivers a line that on 4th rewatch and with the subtitles on, you think, wow, that changes everything. But in the cinema, you think, I have no idea what that guy just said. I missed that. And that is a problem. And I think that him saying, oh, we don't mix it for substandard theatres. If you're telling me that there are maybe a handful of theatres that are mixed for his movies, then you're not making blockbusters anymore. You're making art house movies. Step down from your pedestal, take a breath, and say, actually, people really like my movies. I should make sure that they can understand what the fuck is happening. Like, if you're going to say, oh, it's only for the very best theatres, I need subtitles. I'm sorry, but I'm going to need subtitles. They should do showings of his films in a regular cinema, where it's like not every screening, but maybe there's like one a day where they have the subtitles on. And I guarantee you people would go.
128 channels.
The thing is, if you're not at a movie theater that can showcase the best sound Hollywood has to offer, you can't experience all of those channels. So after the movie is mixed for the 128 Atmos tracks, somebody has to create a separate version of the film's audio where all those same sounds live on 1 or 2 or 5 tracks. This is called downmixing.
Downmixing is the process of taking that biggest mix and folding it down into formats with lesser channels available to it. So, say Atmos down to 7.1, or 7.1 down to 5.1, or 5.1 down to stereo, stereo down to mono.
Unlike old TVs that were gigantic and had a ton of space for speakers, TVs today are super thin. Like this one that I have in my living room is about the same thickness as my iPhone. So even though it's outputting the same mono or stereo sound that an older TV might, it's still going to sound worse.
Yeah, but who has a TV like that and doesn't get a soundbar and a subwoofer? Come on. Because that's a very expensive TV. The soundbar doesn't cost that much more. Our soundbar is awesome. Like without that, it sounds like us. And the little subwoofer is really good as well. So I think, in a way, it's very clever, really. They've designed these TVs so that when you buy them, the guy's like, you know, you're going to want a soundbar for this because you've got this amazing picture. The speakers really, they're all right, but they're not going to be as good as this. It's only 120 quid extra or whatever. It's just a soundbar. You plug it into the optical, away you go. And that's what I've done.
Because you have to have tiny little speakers to fit into this tiny, sleek form factor. These tiny speakers are also usually on the back of the TV. So the down-mix version of this movie that went from 128 channels down to just 2 is going to sound even muddier when it's pointing away from you.
And when you're watching on your phone or a laptop, it's generally not much better. When you combine not great speakers, naturalistic mumbly performances, dynamic range featuring bombastic sounds over dialogue, and a flattened mix, it's no wonder we have trouble hearing what's going on.
And it seems like the industry knows this because TVs today are shipping with all kinds of settings built in, like this intelligence mode.
Wait a second there, fella. I mean, I used to, before I got headphones and everything, I would have speakers set up next to my PC, and I remember bam, away we go. I remember at university, Half-Life 2 came out while I was at university, and I remember my mates were like, "Can you please turn it down? That is insane." I was like, "Oh, sorry."
You can put on active voice amplification in hopes of making that dialogue track come through just a little bit clearer. But of course, that's more band-aid than it is solution.
So I do agree with that, Matt Carrier. However, consider this. A lot of people are watching on those devices. So who are you making the film for if you're mixing it, as Chris Nolan has said he is, for only the very best high-end theatres? That's kind of elitist, isn't it? That's like saying this isn't for you, people that watch on their phones. That's a bit like saying why bother having Twitch on a phone because you should be watching it on a big screen. I mean, it's like you can't tell people how to consume stuff. Like you can say all you like, this was designed to be watched in a theater and all the rest of it, but you can't say you're not allowed to watch that on your phone. Now, if he's complaining it doesn't sound good on his phone, the mix is wrong for a phone. Genuinely, right? Like if you're going to say, "I'm sorry, but this was not mixed to be heard on your phone, so you're not going to be able to understand a word of it," I honestly think that's a lack of technical skill on your part to be filming it in such a way that you can only understand it if it's watched in the cinema. That's not how most people are going to watch your movie. I'm sorry. Most people are not going to watch it that way. Most people are going to watch it at home. They're going to watch it on their TV. They're going to watch it when it comes available for streaming, especially nowadays. Fewer and fewer people are going to the theatre only to watch films. That was when I was a kid. That was how you saw all movies, was in the theatre, or you waited years until it came on the telly. So if you're saying, well, I'm making it for the theatre, you're making it for a dying audience. You should not be mixing it in such a way that it's impossible to decipher other than in a specific kind of cinema, which is what Christopher Nolan has said he's done. I think that's bad.
The way movies get mixed likely isn't going to revert back to super pristine dialogue. So the solutions we have are 1, buy better speakers and only go to theaters that have impeccable sound. 2, take a chill pill and try to just worry a little bit less about picking up every single word that gets said. Or 3, just keep the subtitles on.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're going to have to do. Just keep those subbies on. What could we look at for reviews? What about a review of cutlery? When you look up cutlery review, one of the options is Knives Out. An American ranks British crisps. Alright, I'll bite.
Knick-knack, there we go.
There's too much. There's way too much flavor. Oh! Scampy fries. So I'm assuming these are like a fish and chips type crisp, which sounds very British, and I'm not surprised you guys would have this. Let's open it up and find out. They smell quite lemony, actually. No idea what to expect, but let's go. Mmm. Wow, those are banging, actually.
I'm not kidding. Scampy fries in a pub, that's a classic. That's the only place I ever seen them for sale is in newsagents and in pubs.
A bit nervous. They're very, like, they're a solid crisp. I could definitely eat this entire bag. So I think Scampy fries, a 7 out of 10.
Ooh.
Knickknacks, nice and spicy. Can I just say, this bag is terrifying. Like, what is going on this bag? It honestly feels like the start to like an after-school cartoon show. It's like.
So I actually really like knickknacks. I think they're good.
Knick-knack, there we go.
Also nice and spicy, like, oh God. Okay, not as bad as I thought. They look just like Cheetos, but let's see how it goes. They're not bad, but they're definitely not spicy. They're more tangy than spicy.
Yeah.
It's more of like a
sweet and sour.
Like you just had a lemon. I don't hate them, but I think it is false advertising. So I'm gonna give Knickknacks
6.
A 5.
Oh, 5.
Ooh, roast chicken time. Now this.
They smell like farts. Roast chicken crisps. The pack smells like farts. That's all there is to it.
Is what I'm talking about. You know what? Just give me a whole roast flavor. You know, I want hints of gravy. I want some stuffing. Put the stuffing balls in.
Eat the crisp.
Might be what I'm most excited for.
Eat the crisp.
Okay, smells like paper. Not off to a great start. Oh, there was a lot of hype for something not good at all, man.
Oh, now you're talking. I don't know why he's gone for cheese and onion. Salt and vinegar squares, top drawer.
Onion flavor. I know many people who think that's weird, but I think it is a great flavor combination that the US should have more of. However, I've never had squares, so I'm not sure exactly how these are going to be. I imagine they'll be square. I know, genius. I wasn't expecting these to be so thin. Look how tiny that is. Let's try. Mmm, but they're crunchy. We like crunchy over here. Ooh. These are a strong contender, I'm not gonna lie. I think squares, cheese, and onion are coming in at like a strong 8. Is that weird? Is that wild? Like an 8 already?
Get some Monster Munch in this, man.
Monster Munch. Roast beef. We love roast beef sandwiches in the US, but obviously you guys have like beef roasts. Monster Munch, like it's like a cartoon show again.
Yeah. Eat the crisp.
Like this is just wild. I could imagine like me, like little schoolboy, being like, "Oh my God, I got married." I played with my food way too long. It's time to eat roast beef.
The roast beef one. You should have gone pickled onion.
Monster Munch. We're going all in. Cheers, Monster Munch. That was a whole journey in 0.5 seconds. Started out beefy, then it got sweet. I'm left with like taste of cinnamon in the back of my throat. Am I okay? They're pretty good.
They're the worst flavor.
A big seafood.
Now you're talking.
Nice.
Now you're talking. Thank you.
Gardoman just resubbed for 14 months. Bring back the vanilla monster munch.
I must finally. Oh no. Oh no. No, not these.
Oh, what?
I don't like it. I have to give it another try because research.
How can you not like prawn cocktail, man?
It's too much.
Oh, it's just so good.
Too much flavor. Oh, right. That's a 3.
Quavers.
Love that.
They barely taste of anything.
Kind of nice and airy. The aftertaste of cheese.
Oh, it's floaty light.
Than the initial taste on the crisp. These are onion rings.
Nah, that's
As an
just
American,
that's not a real brand.
Ooh,
Now,
salt and vinegar.
yes.
Again, like no such thing as just a standard crisp outside of Walker's. Like everything is a different shape, size, fun name. It's kind of cool. Oh my God, these things are adorable. Wow. Yeah, so crunchy.
Love a hula hoop. Love it.
That didn't even break a crumb off.
We make solid
Not a fan of that
snacks.
crunch. They're good. They're not bad. I probably wouldn't go for these, but there's nothing wrong with them. So I'll give them a 6.
Why have they listed it as palm bears? The chapter says palm bears. It's pom.
Around, so
So he's not happy. The pom bear to me, we don't get them as much as we used to. They were a classic kids' lunchbox thing when my kids were younger. Pom bears. I'm a big fan. I think they're really nice, very light, not filling at all. Just a nice little salty snack. I like a pom bear. I love a pom bear.
really cute idea, a bear-shaped crisp. But what is going on here? Like,
yeah, no, they don't look like bears. Eat it.
It's just eating air.
Yeah, there's nothing to it.
Palm bear, my friend.
I hate discos. Rubbish. Discos are rubbish.
Salt and vinegar. If you were like, hey, I'm gonna go pick up some discos after school, I would probably assume it was a candy. Ooh, entirely round. Oh, you know when like, of a tiny cut in the top of your mouth and you like get vinegar in there. Yeah, I do like the salt and vinegar flavor a bit more than I.
Pickled onion.
Pickled onion.
Space
Pickled
Raiders.
onion and I
30p? They were 10p when I were a lad.
aren't used to being friends, but I'm willing to give them another. Nope. It's so much. I don't understand. What? About. Oh God, it continues. And that also. Oh.
Big baby. So. No McCoys. I was surprised they went for onion rings, because they even had to get like the Happy Shopper or the Super Saver onion rings. I don't think there's a brand. Like in the States they have Funyuns, right? I was a little surprised that they went for the like Happy Shopper, you know, co-op own onion rings. I wouldn't say onion rings is a big thing as a crisp over here. I wouldn't. I would have gone for something else. Wow, listen to this. This is from a mate of mine. Interesting moment yesterday after I'd spoken to a guy at Trainline about a random ticket refund and then agreed to fill in their online customer service survey. I completed it within 2 minutes, all straightforward. An hour later, the bloke phones me back and asked me to change one of my scores to make it more positive. I don't answer, but instead say to him he's compromised a supposed anonymous/confidential survey, and he may have broken data protection rules by contacting my personal mobile number. Bloke is shitty and unrepentant. I hang up. One complaint later, and I'm contacted by some senior customer service bod. Helpful, apologetic, fires off lots of questions. In turn, I ask if this is company policy. It clearly isn't. I ask if they have broken the law. The bloke won't answer, but says he'll contact me as soon as their investigation has been carried out. Can you imagine that? You're not allowed to call people up about the... You ask for them to fill out a survey, that's it. They fill out the survey. You don't get to complain. Sorry, dude. Jeez, I just keep getting killed. Couldn't even hear that guy approaching, in all honesty. This lad's talking about camping utensils. This has 594 views. This is what I'm talking about. This is WTI point of view videos. Here we go. This is the jam right here.
Hey guys, Jenny here from WTI. Today what I wanted to share with you is this amazing cutlery that I just recently purchased, and I am in love with it. First of all, I love how easy it is to hold. It's got a nice thick handle or arm, whatever you want to call it.
Now, excuse me. If you're doing reviews for cutlery, I want you to know the names of the bits. Alright, so let's look. Spoon. Parts named. So you've got the tip is the very edge of the spoon. This is the bowl. The underside is called the back. This is the neck. And this is the handle. That's called the handle. She should know. She should know. I don't want any of this guessing.
It is beautiful. It's almost looking like it's hammered here. Right here, and this adorable little detail. Can you see the little bee? It is so cute. We've been using these for quite some time now. They are dishwasher safe, which I love, and they're a nice. They've got a nice handle. It's thick, it's not too thin.
So can I just say, first of all, my issue with this kind of cutlery is, first of all, they may be dishwasher safe, but I'm a fan of a solid piece of metal for cutlery. I don't like multi-part, I don't like this composite shit with the screws and all the rest of it, for a number of reasons. First of all, if we go back a second, you get a build-up of grime in these areas over time. You get water in there from the dishwasher, and there's a loosening over time. Things get chipped, they get banged around. You put them all in the sink together, or you just put them down, they get chipped. It's just not, for me, a hygienic surface as much as just bare metal. I don't like all these extra bits.
My kids love it. It's easier for them to hold on to because it's kind of rounded. It's easier to just grab on as opposed to something long and narrow. We don't love that. The knife has been great. It's got a nice handle as well. Overall, honestly, this is a great cutlery set, you guys. I don't know if you're like me, but when you're trying to pick out a cutlery set,
wobbly,
you're a little picky because
exactly,
of how
prawn.
things feel or how things look, and also how things wear. These have been wearing very well. No wear and tear. They look just as nice as they did a few months ago when we purchased it.
A few months? The cutlery we've got has lasted decades. I'm not even kidding. We've had it for like 20 years. What other videos you got? What have you got for me? Alafia Everyday Coconut Lotion. Sure, what do you got to tell me about this? 41 views.
Hi, this is Elisa with WTI, and I want to tell you today that I have found the perfect lotion. Not only does it smell delicious, but it doesn't have chemicals or it doesn't have 1,000 ingredients that you don't even understand.
It doesn't have chemicals. Really? What's in there?
Nice jump, Alistair.
Indevariable just resubbed for 25 months. Can you find a spatula review? Just asking for a friend.
I'll have a look. We'll have a look. I just don't understand when people say it's got chemicals. What isn't a chemical? Your chemicals. We're all chemicals. You should just say harmful chemicals. That's a thing. But people always do that. They hear the word chemicals. It's got chemicals in it. Drinks water in shock. Let me drink this H2O. I don't put any chemicals in my body.
See the consistency. I personally prefer the coconut lime. It smells just so delicious. I want you to see the consistency. It's not too thick. It's not too light. It's just perfect. I'm going to put some here on my arm. I think I put a little too much.
Yeah, I reckon.
Absorb it right away. And it's not going to be greasy. It's just going to be hydrated and it's going to be perfect. The smell, it's not overwhelming. It's just a perfect coconut lime. Everybody's going to be asking you what you're wearing. So I use it all over my body. As you can see, I don't have any here. You see my arm. It's ashy. This one's so hydrated, so moisturized.
What else have you got for me? 6 views. Landscape spotlights. 6 views.
Hi, I'm Joe with WTI. Now, my husband and I just bought a fixer-upper, and we wanted some lights basically for security. So we love these lights. They're from XM Cozy Plus. They're low voltage outdoor spotlights. And check out this video so you can see how easy it is to put it together.
Yeah.
But also some of the wonderful benefits that we love about this light. Check it out. What I love about these lights were they were really easy to install. And it comes in a pack of 4, which is great. One of the things that I really liked is that you could use one light in one area, and then you could use the other lights in other areas, or you can put them all together in one area. So you could use either one just to highlight one specific area, or you could use all 4.
She's right.
They adjust, the head adjusts really nicely, which is really good. It comes in 4 different color lights, and they're all dimmable, which is great. And
Why is it flashing?
The other thing is that it has a smart app.
A fucking app. A fucking app for your garden lights.
So you can do everything right from your phone. And it looks great in the dark. As you can see, the light is really bright, and we loved that.
Have we reached peak humanity, do you think? The more I watch these reviews, the more I think, what are we doing? What are we doing? We've reached a peak where people are writing and presenting 2-minute gushing reviews about LED landscape spotlights to the void. This is just to the void. This video is never going to be seen. But it's a multi-part. They filmed it. She's done the intro. They filmed him setting up the lights. Then they've waited till this evening and put this together, edited it, put it out there with the logo on the front. And it's like, guys, look at these. Look at this cutlery. I want to tell you how happy I am with my cutlery. They've gone to the shop. They bought that cutlery. Look at this spoon, honey. Oh, geez, we got to get a whole set of these, of this cutlery. And you're just looking at these objects, this cutlery. Oh, look at this garden LED light. Oh my God, we've just been. It's just guff. Just we've become overwhelmed with concern about nothing. Spatula reviews. What do you got? 60k views, 331k views, 918. Blue spatula, a defrosting tray review. Let's see what April Sixsmith has to say.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here,
She looks like Idina Menzel.
my name is April, and
Nice
for today's
job,
video, I
Alistair.
want to show you guys
Crusader
this blue
_ Ray
spatula
15 just resubbed for 10 months.
Thank you.
frosting tray. This is going to save you a ton of time, which is why I need to share it with you. The way that I test.
Sorry, what is a spatula defrosting tray? I've never even heard of such a thing. This is going to save you a ton of time.
Set this out is usually when I'm defrosting things, I kind of just like put it on either like a plate or a pan or something like that just to defrost. I never really used a defrosting tray before.
Her hair is fabulous, by the way.
So with Blue Spatula, that's why I was excited that they actually had one of these.
That's not a spatula.
And
I'm very
I
confused.
cooked sirloin steaks. And I bought 2 packages at the same weight. That way they I could really do a
Look where she lives. Look where they live.
pretty decent experiment and actually try it out fairly and see if this cut down the time defrosting my steaks versus putting it on like a regular tray or something like that. So it actually did. It cut the time down in half, which I was.
Do I reckon she has a breadwinning husband and she's bored as fuck? Very possibly. That could be her fella out there fishing. You're doing your goddamn videos again, I'm gonna go fish.
Really surprised about.
Clearly a poor area that has to fish for the food.
And would be super selfish if I didn't tell you guys about it, because this really cuts my time down. And if you're running around all day and then you want to come home, if you have to go food shopping, you know, once a week, so then you have to keep things in the freezer, and then you come home from work, you don't want to be sitting there waiting hours and hours and hours for your food to defrost. So this one does the trick. I didn't.
Now hold on, April. I don't think that that's going to defrost anything in minutes, is it? Is it? What are the comments? The comments are turned off on this kind of controversial video. The camera positioning is just off. You're right, because you've got a frame here. She's got a key light, because look at there's light from behind, but she's key lit and there's no shadow anywhere. So she's got a key light.
I was trying to figure out like how it actually worked, because I thought it would be like a little bit more graded.
So there's no shadow.
Or that there would be edges. So the only downside is that there's no edges to like catch
Hang
the
on a
juice,
sec.
so it does fall off. So you just want to like put this on another.
I'm not seeing any shadows. Like, at all. There's a shadow here, but I'm saying on her, even this isn't producing a shadow. So she's lit there's a slight shadow here. So she's either got a big key light on a stand. You can see shadow here and under here. So she's either got a really massive like chandelier or something like that above her. But there's not even a shadow being cast from this thing or her arms on her body at all. There's like no shadow anywhere.
Tray or something like that.
So if it's a ring light, you see the telltale ring light reflection in people's eyes. You can always see it. You can always tell when someone's using a ring light. But I'm just saying, this looks like CGI. It's a conspiracy.
Something that's going to catch the juice from when everything is defrosting.
Also, when she tilts the blue spatula tray,
when everything is
we see her reflected in it, but we're not seeing any lighting bouncing off. I would love to know how they lit this.
Defrosting. The only other thing besides the lip.
All right, there. That's a big telltale right there.
Thing besides.
That's a ring light right there. Look at that. With the dark bit in the middle. She's got not like a little ring light. Her ring light is like a fucking, like a Dyson sphere sized ring light. Good shout on the ring light. I couldn't see it in her eyes. You can normally see it in her eyes. I think the one you see in people's eyes is the one that they just put just above the monitor. But that is a big old ring light. By the way, we're so fucking good at figuring this shit out.
The lip not being on the end is, I wish it was a little bit bigger. It's 11.6 inches by 8 inches, so it's still decent enough for like two relatively sized portion, like.
No, that's not green screen because there was a look at the dude out the back.
Steaks. However, if
look,
you're gonna
he's moving.
Defrost a tomahawk or something, I don't think that would fit on here. So you may want to either get a few or.
It's a marina, so it might just be still water. Like you're not going to get a huge amount. It's not a green screen.
Or see if they have one that's bigger. This one specifically is usually on sale for $60. Right now, it's on sale for $30.
Still doing your goddamn video up there.
I also have a 20% discount code. You can use the code April20. The link is below.
Oh, hello. MLM.
in the bio if you want to go and check that out. I don't know if you can add the discount code on top of the sale that's already there. I'm not 100% sure, so the sale possibly, if you can't use both, to hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Tips for dealing with depression and anxiety. My thoughts on J-Lo and Shakira's Super Bowl halftime show. T-Talk, my thoughts on the new royal family scandal. 2020 resolutions and life update. Dermatology stuff. L'Oreal Total Coverage Foundation reviews. Puerto Rico mission trip? Oh, is she religious? Okay, April. We're done here. God did not tell people to use a ring light. I'll tell you that much right now, or do multi-level marketing.
Hello, I wanted to talk to you today about spatulas and why it's important to have a high quality spatula. I've had this one for about 15 years and it just keeps on going. It's nice, it's thick, it's durable stainless steel and good quality. They no longer make this one.
Read the top comment. Heck yes, add some heat to it and she will move even faster. Good God, Chef Giovanni, chill!
However, the closest thing you're going to find is going to be these Mundial spatulas. Mundial is really, really nice. These are NSF certified. It's a special alloy steel. It's a stainless steel, but it's slightly flexible. And it's got a sanitized handle, very high quality, lifetime warranty, bend it, break it, chip it. Really, really nice. I like it. It's the same shape and size and balance as mine, and it's durable. Now this comes in a variety of styles and colors and things. There's a few different colors out there, and one of them is yellow, there's a red, there's a white. Really nice. There's also a square end. Some people like the square end. This works as a griddle scraper also. If you're working the grill or the griddle and you want to turn it over and give it a scrape, well, this is a great tool for that too. Flipping burgers, chicken, fish, whatever. This is the knockoff, and this is good also. This is like maybe, you know, a few dollars less, but you get what you pay for. The knockoff works. The Mundial ones are better. Fish turner. Everyone needs a fish turner if you're cooking fish.
Listen to me. If you've managed this far in life without a fish turner, you haven't been eating enough fish. We got a big old thing from IKEA it's called like a flooper, and instead of being metal, because I use a non-stick pan, but when I'm cooking on my copper pan, no, you can't turn fish with tongs as easily. The point with the fish turner is it's much wider, so you can slide it under the hole of the fish, put something else on top, and turn it without the fish crumbling. Because sometimes you need that for something big that's kind of wants to fill the pan. Like a steak, you could just and it'll stay together. Chicken as well, but if it's fish, it can fall apart, and you end up with the fish sort of slipping inside. You need a big wide spatula. It's pronounced spatula, by the way.
Or anything deep fried. Chicken, you're breading up some chicken fingers or fried chicken or okra or eggplant, parmesan, whatever you're making, you kind of need a fish
eggplant parmesan.
Keep the grease in the pan when you're picking the items up.
That's nice.
So I've seen some other fish turner reviews that were ridiculous, and I thought I had to share that with you.
You thought you'd seen ridiculous fish turner reviews.
Hello there, welcome to Cookie Auntie. 9. At Techfish Spat.
Wait, what's happened here? Is it all auto-generated?
When it comes to handling delicate protein.
Why do they do that? Heated blankets, 7 views. They put out, like, look how many videos a day they're putting out. Alright, okay, you've piqued my interest.
Two things to know about me. I love music and I love to dance. So I was thrilled to get this jukebox from Ark Rocket because now I can turn my basement into a musical dance party whenever I want. The best thing about this jukebox is it's so
The kids are having the time of their life. Respect. Got some good grenades, though. Yup! Yeah! Oh shit, that didn't go very far. Oh, they can't complain. We die there all the time. Man, we did hit one for 70. Back to the reviews.
Versatile. You can play your music on this however you want. They give you every single option under the sun. You can play vinyl records, you can use the CD player, there's an FM radio, a USB port, it's MP3 compatible.
I think I've seen this thing in Costco.
You have an SD card slot, it's Bluetooth, so you can hook up your device and play your whole musical library on your phone. Now the lights on this jukebox are probably my kid's favorite feature. There's a switch on the back, so you can keep it on one solid color if you want, or on the other setting, it will switch between colors in a gradient fashion. Now you do have the option to completely shut them off if you like.
Who's got room in their house? No VHS compatibility. No, where's no Betamax compatibility? Who's got room in their house for a jukebox room? They've got a jukebox room.
Going, I think it's the most fun, and so do my kids. There's an audio output on the back, so you can hook up external speakers if you want to enhance the volume.
Wow.
But the volume quality is great. Check it out.
She is a hottie. What was her name? I want to see more reviews from her.
Hi there, I'm Christy with WTI.
Right, what is WTI? I'm going to look this up. Educating and engaging shoppers. They have an Amazon storefront. Dedicated crew of individuals who are committed to providing quality marketing media focused on your consumer needs. They got a big fucking website here. About. What tools inside? So, hang on a sec. This is their website. So they're called What Tools Inside. But why have they apostrophized tools? Who was this?
WTI. With WTI. Hi there, I'm Christy.
Christy. So she's not one of the key team. I think she's one of the extended. What tools, apostrophe, inside? We work hard to help everyone feel they are part of something bigger. We're leaving lasting impressions with our loyal fans. So I guess this is a way, of course there's a fucking app. This is a way for companies to market to people. And they say, we'll offer you the full range of marketing. We've got an Amazon storefront or something. We've got a YouTube channel with over 7,000 subscribers. And we offer reviews on products. So the jukebox was a hit with this lady whose name, just something about her name. Is it Christy?
Hi there, I'm Christy.
Christy. I like Christy. Let's see what this lady has to say about New Skin Liquid Bandage. Is she going to cut herself? She looks like a Gabby.
Hey guys, it's Alicia with WTI,
Alicia.
and I want to show you an essential for your home medicine cabinet or first aid kit. This is New Skin Liquid Bandage.
No, I don't like the sound of this.
This stuff is amazing. So my husband tends to get a lot of cuts and scrapes working out in the garage.
Oh, Jim.
Projects,
My husband.
and woodworking, and it always seems to be in a place where you cannot apply a bandage. It just will not work. So this stuff is awesome because you basically just paint this on and it provides a protective coating, and it's like a layer over your cut, and it keeps it protected and allows it to heal.
She definitely says protected. Not protected. She says protected because she's American. Just listen.
Keeps it protected.
Protected. And guarantee you she said protected. Just hear again.
Layer over your cut, and it keeps it protected and allows
Protected.
it to heal. So this has been applied to his fingers. It recently was applied to the top of his head where he scraped up some skin, and
We're never going to see him again.
was able to use this to cover it up and keep it closed and protected. So it
Keep it
comes
protected.
with a little applicator brush, and all you do is simply brush it over top of your
What?
wound.
Right, why does YouTube do this, man? There's no way to turn this off, by the way. These frames? You cannot look. We don't get to see it go on her hand. These pop-ups come a full 18 seconds before the end of the video. So many videos I'm watching you can't see because of all this crap popping up on YouTube. How am I meant to stay protected now? Whoa, is that another jukebox review? No, it's just the same one. I didn't scroll down. Look at this little portrait pose here. Beaky 5-piece makeup sponge set. Mission meets pepper pork sticks. Our point of view.
Hey guys, it's Alicia with WTI, and if you are someone who loves like beef jerky and smoked meat snacks, you are gonna go crazy for these Mission Meats pork stick.
Mission meats. 2 views.
They're so delicious. This is the cracked pepper pork stick.
How many of those views were her?
And what I love about these and this company is that they use really high quality meats and really clean ingredients. So these are paleo and Whole30 compliant. They're gluten free. You can eat these on a variety of different lifestyle diets and they would be compliant, and they taste amazing. So that's most important. I love that it's a portable little stick. You can throw it in your bag. I'm always stocking my purse with little portable snacks that have protein because let's face it, I get hangry. It's just how it is. So I love to keep these on hand. They're very, very tasty. I think you'll love them too, and that's my point of view.
Amazing. Amazing. Do not get scammed by fake Japanese knife scams. Okay. Best Japanese style knife. See, this is 1.9 million views. That's way out there. What about this guy? Trail Medic.
Hey, Keith here. I wanted to talk today about something that...
Keith ain't fucking around. Hey, Keith here. I'm going to talk today about something that's been grinding my gears for some time, and that's camping utensils. A lot of folks don't realize how important your choice of camping utensils is if you're taking a long hike, maybe 2-3 days out there in the wilderness. If you're going out there, you got to be protected. You got to be protected, and your utensils are the first way you're going to do that.
Hey, Keith here. I wanted to talk today about something that we don't discuss very often.
God damn it.
That's the utensils that you use to eat with while you're backpacking or just camping in general. You know, this has become a sub-industry within an industry. Within the backpacking community, there's 3 main things that matter. Hell, camping
in the
general,
weirdness.
And that's the size of something, the weight of something, and the versatility.
Versatility. Versatility. Let me hear that again.
The weight of something and the versatility of something. How many uses does it have? You know,
how much versatility that got? Am I protected? I need to be protected at all times with my versatility.
With your utensils, it's basically for eating. So that kind of...
He's right.
Okay, I've only got one use for it. Size, that depends on if you're car camping and you can take something big like these, or if you are backpacking and you need something that is smaller and lightweight. But the bottom line is...
Why didn't he go for the smallest one on the table when he's trying to emphasize size?
It's just become mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. But let's start with the basics, okay? These are some really lightweight spoon and fork that you can pick up at any Wendy's. About it is, they're free.
Oh, now, hold on, Keith or Jim, whichever your name was. I think it was Keith. You can't be stealing cutlery from Wendy's and telling other people to do it.
Frosty, you know, grab a handful. They weigh in at, the pair comes in at 0.25 ounces. Okay?
Ounces?
Then you can go into the more expensive sets. And these I think we picked up at a Walmart or, you know, just a camping store. And they are made out of a heavy duty plastic. Still are short. And they come in at 0.75 ounces.
I could not tell you how much an ounce is. You tell me something is 0.25 ounces, you could be talking about the moon as far as I'm concerned.
Then you've got the larger ones. And these are made by GSI.
GSI!
0.95, less than an ounce. And these are a good size, heavy duty. Better for
Nice jump, Alistair.
Thank
Zadiac's just resubbed for 12 months.
Spoons, knives, individually at a place like Academy Sports, and I think they're relatively inexpensive, about 99 cents. I think these guys were right at $7. Okay, Jetboil started with their larger, taller type of stove, so it required something that would be able to reach all the way down in.
Spoon.
And the normal size spoons just really wouldn't do that. So Jetboil came up with their own.
Them boys at Jetboil, I tell you what, they've been working hard and some versatility. That's 2 pieces. I don't want that. I don't want that.
They come in at 0.8 ounces. Now, Jetboil has reduced the size of some of their stoves, so it's not so necessary anymore to have the really longer type of spoon or fork. But that takes us back to, why did we need long ones to begin with? The mountain houses, the dehydrated meals that we eat. You've got to have something that's going to be able to reach all the way down in there. So what came on the market really quick were long-handled spoons and forks, but the plastic ones, regardless, were always susceptible to melting or to just breaking. So Tokes came out with their famous titanium long.
I mean, who hasn't heard of it? Who hasn't heard of that? That's just a Tokes classic.
I've used it for years. It is fantastic. And it weighs a whopping...
Is he looking at the entrance of the room? That's a good point. That's a good point. Either he just has to climb out. What if this is an underground bunker? And this is a fake light, obviously, at the back here. He lowers himself in.
0.55 ounces.
Oh, I hope that was the chair now, Keith. Let's just have another listen.
And it weighs a whopping 0.55 ounces.
What?
GSI,
I think that was the chair.
Which is a company that I really like. Their stuff is high quality and fairly inexpensive. They said, you know, these titanium spoons are really nice, but they're hard to scrape out of the bottom of a stove or a bowl. So they came up with the idea of getting a plastic with a silicone coating on the spoon part. Cool idea. And it comes in at
0.45.
0.8 ounces. This is really nice.
How can you decimalize ounces? 0.8 ounces. I'm sure there's a measurement below ounces. Clubbins or something. It'll be, you know what I mean? It'll have some name. 0.8 of an ounce? Why, you'd be talking about 3 frog knees. 17 of them to a hefty. Exactly. And 15 hefties to an ounce. Everybody knows that.
For, like when I'm in my van and I'm needing something to reach in and pull out coffee to make coffee in the morning, to stir the coffee, to reach in and cook with. It's not scratching my pans.
Oh, man.
This is really nice. And best of all, it comes in at about $5.
$5?
So, you know, that's really a good option. But regardless of what you do and what you've decided to use, anything works. You can just grab you a plastic fork, use it one time. If it breaks, okay. Who cares?
The environment cares. Jim, Keith?
You can go to the other end of the spectrum and pick up a nice titanium spoon that will range anywhere from $10 to $25, depending on what brand. So, there you have it. Just a quick overview of something that we don't
Just
talk
a quick
about
little
very
old
much, but it's really
overview.
important, you know? It's not always fun to eat with your fingers, especially if it's soup. Right?
That's a good one. That kills every time.
Give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe.
You know what? I will give you a
Hopefully
thumbs
we'll
up.
see you on the trail. And remember, be safe out there. Later.
He kind of had an outro worked out there, and then he was like, remember, keep on watching the skies. Watch the skies and be safe underground and over the land and also the sea and the bees and the birds. Catch you on the flip side, motherfuckers. I mean, friends. He's a good lad. The comments. 1 second. This was an interesting video, says Georgia Fisherman. Does Georgia Fisherman have any vids? Damn it. But has 72 subscribers. I never considered how many different items or their weight could matter. The wife and I go camping, but the car is right at our campsite, so I never really considered how those differences matter. You said that. Every ounce or 1/10 of an ounce matters when you have to carry it for days. Sad crying face emoji. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to share that. You're right, and there not many talk about what's available in this area. Thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Scott, you got any vids for me? Scott Philippi. I like backpacks, and I'm gonna put backpacks in my avatar. Something else I've been looking for is cooking utensils. Nobody talks about that either. Spatulas and tongs are far and few between, designed with the camper in mind. I think I've finally found a reasonable solution with Tongner. That's combo tong and spatula, but I would love to have better or at least more options. I like those too. Let's see if has any vids. Oh! 7.8k views. Milite Smart Things integration.
Okay. Welcome to how to set up your Lights using Smart Things. So here I have a Light controller and a Light bulb. And here I have my Smart Things app running on my iPhone.
Fucking app.
And here's an Android controller with the other applications. The Auto Magic Premium and the UDP Center are the two apps that you'll need to have.
I was
this
looking
all
for
set up.
Telegram on
So
there.
First things first is find out what your Light controller IP address is.
Jesus.
So for me,
look at all the things he's got. Brian's iPhone, Chromecast bedroom, sunroom, backyard, DCS 2132LB1, that could be his TV, I guess. Motion iOS, NEYE, Samsung, just a bunch of numbers, Amazon Alexa, desktop, Ian, and Light controller. Isn't he giving away all his MAC addresses here?
it's 192.168.111.
No, I lost
Made
the
that
9
nice
of
and
diamonds
easy
in
for
my
me to
wallet.
remember there.
Unfortunately, this is a 15-minute vid. That can fuck off. No, I lost the 9 of diamonds in my wallet, unfortunately. It was foolish, but it happens. Pretty sure I lost it anyway. swear I had to empty out a load of stuff from my wallet. I think it was in there, and I think it had perished quite badly. Motion Eye is CCTV. That makes sense. Oh man, I'm so full still. Yeah, I think I lost it. I'm sorry, team. That's a good point, Stannis. When will I stream Dota? Waiting on a patch. Waiting on a patch. Been playing what feels like the same patch for a long time. And I just, you know, I'm just sick of it, in all honesty. I'm just waiting for it to change. Hold on, I've got a message. So I think older people still use pounds occasionally, but my kids have no idea what a pound is. It's all metric. And I mean, I still talk about my weight in pounds and stones, but because that's what I grew up with. Not that I grew up in an era pre-metric, but because it was only really just starting to become a thing that was in shops and stuff like that, that people really understood. But a stone is 14 pounds, and that's it. So I remember when I was a young man, I weighed exactly 10 stone, which is 140 pounds, which is not much. But now everybody goes by kilos. My kids do everything in metric, and when I'm cooking, it's all grams and kilos and all the rest of it. It's a much better system, let's be honest with you. But I still talk about someone as being a 20 stone beast or something like that. You know, it is a weird mix. But I mean, at the petrol pump, it's in liters. We don't use gallons or quarts, but we certainly use pints. As in, we'll say pints, but what we really mean is 568 mils or whatever it is. So we talk in a combination of metric and imperial. Yeah, cups. I mean, we've had to buy cup measurements for the kitchen because we do cook a lot of recipes off the internet or American cookbooks, and they always talk about cups. And you just think, a cup? And you think, oh, alright, you just grab a cup. Like the same way you'd say, add 1 mug of rice or whatever. But it's not, it's a specific measurement. I can't remember what the exact conversion is to mils. It looks like about 150 grams. Maybe 200. But I guess it depends. I mean, obviously it depends what it is you're talking about.
Well,
250, is it? There.
Гнида! Опачки!
Yeah, but Stan, it's not a weight measure. It's a measure in terms of like an amount of a specific thing. So if I said add 2 cups of flour, I know how much flour that is. And if I say add 2 cups of water, I know how much that is. So it's not as precise as saying add 120 grams of something. But obviously, it wouldn't say a cup of lead weighs the same as a cup of feathers because it's not going by weight, but it's going by volume of a specific substance. It works. I mean, it does work. I'm not saying it's a good system. I don't like things in cups. I think it's silly. It sounds like people make fun of stones, but you're talking about a cup. Do you know what I mean? Freeze? What's up?
Ну чё, неплохой день, господа.
Are you a fucking scav or a PMC? Help me, mate. He's trying to kill me.
Where you going, bro? Where you at, bro?
I hope that scav got him. I hope that scab got him. Scum. A cup is 250 mils regardless of weight. Yeah, but you're talking about weights. You're like Stannis is specifically saying a cup of feathers and a cup of lead is not the same thing. Right? And it's not, but you're not measuring 250 mils of lead and expecting that to be the same weight as 250 mils or a cup or whatever of feathers. Like, what I'm saying is a cup of whatever it is that you're asking for, you're not saying, I want 250 mils of X, which is identical to 250 mils of any other thing. Like, you're not measuring a fluid, because you're measuring a solid with a cup. You might be. It's different, right? A US cup and UK cup are different. No, I don't think so. I got these measuring things in America anyway. We don't use cups. I don't think I've ever seen a UK recipe call for a cup. I agree. I go by weight. I'm just saying that a cup is a thing, and you can use it for measurements and cooking. Like, that's all I'm saying. It is possible, because you're dealing with a specific thing. So if I say get a cup of flour, that cup of flour is going to be more or less the same amount of flour for everyone that makes 1 cup measurement of flour. Like, that's the point. Is that they're saying this is how much you put in. 1 1/3 cups of X. Now, the better way to do it would be to say 180 grams. And then you get your scale out and you go 180 grams and you have the exact same amount. And you know you've got the same amount of flour because you're doing it by weight. But I'm just saying, if I'm doing by volume, which is what a cup measurement is, I'm saying take this much flour, more or less. Which is why I don't like using cups for baking, because it's far more exact. You know what I mean? It needs to be very precise. Baking is more like chemistry than any other kind of cooking. And therefore I suck at it. We're still reading the comments on Keith Jim's video. He responds to every comment. Thumbs up, shot face, smiley face, smiley face. Reply, thanks, thumbs up. Steve Skinner. Steve has vids.
I see trees of green.
Nice voice.
Red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
New baritone uke show. 2 comments. Hi, Grandpa Steve. It's me, Olivia. That's so lovely. That's so lovely. He liked the comment.
In the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do. They're really saying
I love you.
I hear babies.
He's got a really nice timbre to his voice.
Watch them grow. they'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Oh dear.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
We got there. Steve, that was fantastic, mate. That gets a like. Hi, Grandpa Steve. It's me, Olivia. That's so sweet. No views! No views!
If you're in the market for a new knife set, you're looking for an option that covers...
Oh, it's got this stupid auto-generated voice over the top. I hate that. 32 people watching Cutlery Corner Network live.
Sell out. So I would not hesitate on a 111884 as our today's special at less than $40.
I'll be honest with you. 40. Oh, I can't pause.
There's the freight. You had that.
$40 for 4 knives? What kind of quality can they be? They must be absolute junk for $40.
Well, we can't do Canada. We can't do Hawaii. We can't do Alaska, folks. But yes, down here, 48 states, we'll take care of business no matter what that shipping and handling charge is. Just put 111860 on your invoice and you're all good to go.
No, it says Cutlery Corner, so I'm thinking that this is actually cutlery, right? You're meant to eat this.
Start off with, because our representatives get asked this a lot. Chip away clearance, does that mean it's not going to come back in inventory? No, it does not.
I'm pretty sure that you can't be spending 40 quid and getting 4 knives and think they're going to be any good. No way, man. How to find kitchen knives made in the USA from the All American Network. How to find strength equipment made in the USA. He just wants everything made in the USA. Big announcement. What's his announcement, I wonder? Let's find out. Big announcement. The election has been stolen. Oh, it's struggling to load.
Hey y'all, Mike here, and I have some really big news to share today. We are rebranding All American Reviews to allamerican.org. This is a huge change for us, so I just wanted to take a couple of minutes today to walk through why we're doing it, what's changing, and give y'all a little sneak preview of what's to come. So first off, why the heck are we rebranding to allamerican.org? I started All American Reviews back in 2017, and a lot has changed since then. We aren't just product reviews anymore, so the name All American Reviews just felt inherently limiting.
I'll be honest with you, brother. If you started back in 2017, you've got 3.29k subs. This is 5 years later, and you haven't made it, bud. The rebrand isn't going to change anything. You're not confusing people. No one's watching your channel, I think, is the key here.
We do a lot more nowadays, from our sweeping product category research to our brand investigations and secret shopping, regulatory research, spotlight interviews of great American-made brands, behind-the-scenes factory tours. We just needed a name and a fresh look that really demonstrated our commitment to the deep research that we do and the inspiring stories that we want to tell to support American workers and great made in the USA companies. So, what's changing? Well, for starters, we moved our website from allamericanreviews.com to allamerican.org, and it has a very fresh look. We took all of your wonderful feedback and completely revamped how we do product category research on the site to be more like a directory.
All right, what vids have you got? He's just literally looking.
Nice jump, Alistair.
06 Jasper just resubbed for 24 months.
Thank you. Something's piqued my interest. This is another niche I'm a big fan of, is looking around factories.
Hey y'all, Mike here from All American Reviews, and right now I'm headed to the Boardroom Socks Factory in Lexington, North Carolina. So I've reviewed these socks before on the channel, but for those who are unfamiliar, Boardroom Socks specializes in men's dress socks, as well as a couple of other styles that they've recently released. They got started in 2010 and are run by the James family. So they got started by Mike and Carol James. They're now run by Nathan James. And these guys have been in textiles for a really long time. And the James family is a 7th generation family in terms of folks working in textiles. So they've been doing it since the early
7th generation sockists.
Cool. Anyways, great sock company. Really excited to take a tour of their factory today. Nathan invited me out here to go and check out one of their mills. So really excited to give y'all a behind the scenes look at how these socks are actually made. Of this type of video that I'm
all of the socks, it starts as raw cones of yarn. So we get our yarn from a lot of local sources, and everything starts
Nice
as the
jump,
yarn,
Alistair.
and we tie the
Shippers
yarn
underscore
onto
just
the knitting
resubbed for 10
machine,
months.
and the knitting machine
The audio is out of sync with the picture.
knits the socks in a circle, and it goes around, and all of the needles create 168 stitches in a row in a line, and it goes up and knits
The Motex Silver. Or is that... Does that say Motec? Or is it Matec? It's a Matex Silver. That is a €6,000 machine. That's an N6 double-cylinder Matex Silver 1L 240/200 needles, diameter 3.5, electronic draft, complete with luggage rack, tear sensors, BTSR electronic wire passage sensors, and a draft fan in excellent condition. Get it from Italy. Look at this thing. €6,000. You could have a Matex Silver.
entire cylinder is the sock, and the machine makes one of our over-the-calf socks every 4 minutes, so we produce a pair every 8 minutes, and then once the sock comes off the knitting machine in that cylinder shape, it goes over to the sewing room and it gets loaded onto the sewing machine, where the cylinder gets closed and the toe actually forms at the end of the sock.
She is having the time of her life.
From there, it gets flipped inside out and goes to our finishing plant to be washed and cleaned and packaged, and then ultimately shipped out to the customer. Pretty much all day, every 8 minutes, putting out a pair of socks. And as seasonality during the busy season and the winter months, we'll ramp up and run more machines.
That's the... Does that say Stentern? Patent pending on the Stentern. Get in there.
And just flex capacity.
Does that say step turn? Step turn machine. Yeah. Whoa, I love that. I love the way it sucks the sock up into that thing. Look. Thump. What are those look like bandages, but I think they're socks of some kind.
Capacity as needed. Our most popular sock, number one bestseller, is style 1000, which is black wool over the calf, and that's just solid black with our classic ribbed pattern. So it's great for dressing up, dressing down. You can wear them casually with jeans, or you can wear them with a suit. So just a super versatile sock. So that's been our number one selling sock since we started business in 2010.
Please do sock
very
puppets.
Classic, very traditional.
I'm waiting to see a sign. No sock puppetry. Not after the incident of 2015.
Sock, and they're just
oh shit!
Unfortunately, aren't very many.
Look at this. What are we doing? Look at the complexity of all this to run the step turn sock closing machine. It's remarkable, isn't it?
Knitters that know how to make this sock, and there are very few machines that can produce this sock that are here in the U.S. To my great, however many greats, grandfather opened our family's first fabric mill in 1837 in Alamance County, and ever since then, all the way up to me, my generation, our entire family has been in the North Carolina textiles industry. So when you see our...
You guys know what that means, right? 7 generations in the North Carolina textile industry.
Our logo, and you see the outline of the state of North Carolina in it. I mean, that's really what we're all about, is local North Carolina textiles. So that's every pair of our socks is made here. Our packaging is made here. A lot of the yarn is made here. Our yarn is dyed right down the street from here. So we try to do everything locally that we can. One thing that's kind of interesting that customers always say is we reinforce the heel and the toe in each pair of our socks, which from a manufacturing perspective is a little bit more complicated because we have to have more yarn in different sizes. So
I'm captivated by the socks shooting up and down through all these tubes.
A lot of brands won't do that with their socks, kind of cut corners and eliminate that step, but we obviously don't do that. And by reinforcing the heel and toe in our socks, it really lets the socks last much longer. And so when customers get our socks and start wearing them and they enjoy them and they like them, and they discover that they're not throwing them out and wearing them out and putting holes in them really quickly like they did.
This is edited so strangely. We've got the voiceover of this guy talking, but then there's a whole conversation going on here. And the thing is, we're not seeing anything in this conversation related to what he's talking about. When it was his voiceover of the machines, that was great. But now there's a conversation here going on, and it just looks like the audio's out of sync. It's bad editing, young fella. At All American.
Other brands and other socks that they've had previously, that's just feedback that we consistently get as customers say, wow, these socks wear like iron. And so, yeah, I guess it's good for the customers, sometimes not so good for us because you don't need to buy as many, but...
This looks like a great place to work, doesn't it?
Socks are so simple, and it seems like at face value such an easy...
Come on, people! I want socks!
But once you get behind the scenes and you see how detailed and how complicated making a pair of socks, and not just making any pair of socks, but how complicated and detailed it is to make a good pair of socks.
Good socks.
And when my parents first started this business, I thought they were kind of nuts, and I just didn't understand until walking through a place like this and seeing the expertise and the generations and the talent and stuff that just gets passed down, and it's not as simple as turning on a machine and making a pair of socks. I mean, there's so much expertise and knowledge and generations that goes into this.
I will say, Steve, Chris, Dave, whatever your name is, so far I've seen a lot of machines. I've seen a lot of pictures of machines.
And it's pretty amazing what goes into making that pair of socks, and then along that journey, how many jobs.
Come on, take a look at the confabulator over here a minute. I think you'll find it real interesting.
To the shipping, and that's what we're most passionate about, is supporting local jobs in our local industry in North Carolina.
So we just got done touring the amazing hosiery where Boardroom Socks.
So, Boardroom Socks Knitting Mill. BoardroomSocks.com. Knit in the USA. They've got a blog. Meet the family. That's the team. Nathan, Carol, and Mike. They look like nice people. These the mom and pop of this operation. That is an expensive pair of glasses this lad's got on there. I can tell you that right now. Co-founder and yarnologist. His favorite sock is the Khaki Pima OTC. Caesar CFO. Carol has a knack for designing some of our best-selling socks. As a CFO, she keeps all in line. Favorite sock: purple square knots on black. They do have a virtual tour. Virtual tour. Oh, it's just that. That's not a virtual tour. Nathan's favorite dress socks are our burgundy merino wool. You'll also frequently find him wearing our new no-show socks. Outside of the office, he enjoys fishing, reading, and exploring Charlotte with his wife. I read that as exploring Charlotte, his wife. Exploring Charlotte with his wife. Okay. Whew, thought we were getting a little spicy there. And exploring the body of his wife, Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina.
Nice jump, Alistair.
Jarawil just resubbed for 75 months.
Thank you. Oh, he's a socks on shagger for sure. A socks on shagger for sure.
Nice jump, Alistair.
Merkes 105 just resubbed for 2 months.
Thank you. So, I realize this may be considered controversial, but in 1837, the slave population of North Carolina was just under 250,000 people, out of a total population of just under 750,000 people. So 1/3 of the population of North Carolina when his family started in their textile industries, 1/3 of the population was slaves. That's fucking incredible. When did Haaland score a hat-trick? Well, I don't see Haaland scoring a hat-trick anywhere. When was this? Okay. Haaland, 40, 50, and 54. He's a machine. Interestingly, I watched a vid the other day. It was a TIFO vid. They do like football investigations. I think TIFO might be something to do with The Athletic, which is a sort of sports podcast thing. And they were saying that Man City are objectively worse in pretty much every statistic than they were pre-Haaland. Now, I think that the issue with that is that I don't think Pep Guardiola knows how to play with a striker, with an out-and-out striker. I really don't. I think his idea of football is so the way his teams play seems flexible because they're pinging the ball around and all that. But I think he's very, very rigid in his design of what football is meant to look like. And here he's got this unbelievable goal scorer, and the team is worse. That's Pep's fault. That's not Haaland's fault. That is Guardiola failing to adapt the way he has his team playing around this incredible goal scorer. I don't really understand how he's managed that, but Arsenal have 2 games in hand, and they're ahead 2 points. So the stream tonight is going to be the first session of the Cthulhu adventure that Munt's running, with me, Ashwin, Plague, Greg, I think Miles as well, and Munt DMing. So tune in for that. 8 o'clock. Should be a laugh. I am Father John Carver. I'm a Catholic priest, and I've come over to the United States to save their souls. But I'm meant to be from Belfast, but I can't quite nail the accent. What's going on over here? I utterly reject the teachings of Satan. I'll try and perfect the accent in time. That's not the worst you've heard. I'll try my best, Beardy Chris. So oddly enough, Father John Carver, I was a bit of a boxer back in Belfast, on the mean streets of Belfast. And then I moved to the Bronx and had to show them a thing or two with my fists. I think it's just going to be a basic Irish accent. Because I'm going to struggle to do a Northern Irish accent. How dare you? I'll try it. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I'm just going by that Harry Enfield sketch with William Ulsterman. I utterly reject your offer of pineapple on a stick. I have made a peaceful request. It's a funny sketch. How do you know if the dude you're seeing is a scav? You don't know. You have to use your experience and guile. And there are some giveaways in their base outfit that they have. You are trying crocodile tears! Well, they're all meant to be Brummies, aren't they? That's the thing.
Но шкура цела уже неплохо. Ну ничего, скупщику все продам и заживем.
What are 1313s? Sam Neill is from Northern Ireland. He's a Kiwi. Oh, he was born in Omagh. How about that? Oh, so he grew up there till he was 7. Wow, I had no idea. I always thought he was a Kiwi. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the wee donkey. Of course. Ted Hastings, my spirit animal. All I care about is finding bent covers. Jesus, Mary and the wee donkey, have this poor woman not had enough? What's up, Poop Feast? Mother of God! Man, I hope they finish that series sometime. I saw a roof boy. Where are our bags? Do they say the crack a lot? What's the crack? What's the crack with these cultists? The alarms don't make a sound anymore, unfortunately. I agree, General Store Bellathor. The issue is that the buzzer doesn't go off. Back into position. I want to get involved. Oh, you got him. Good job. Airdrop? Where? Oh, it said the sky's congested? Well, that looks like the puff of smoke from the flare. There's the box there, no?
Oh shit. Escape from
Whoa, why'd I get shot? I think that was a... I think I got shot by scabs. Oh, that was a player below me. God, what were they doing? Those were players just chilling by me. Oh, shit. Didn't hear them at all. Man, if only we'd known they were there, we could have dummied them. No, I got shot by a player. That was 100% a player. Do you know what I think is one of the worst messages of support that you see politicians give now and people give now? My heart is broken. You see people say that all the time now. I did hear him speak on voice chat, but only after I heard him say, oh shit, and I looked down and a player shot me. My heart is broken. It's like, that's become like the default thoughts and prayers, isn't it? People just don't know what to say, so they just say the same thing somebody else said. What else can I review? I'm reviewing reviews. That's my new thing. Reviewing reviews. Let me see. Today we did spatulas. I'm trying to think of some of... What about a soldering iron review? One-handed self-feeding Seika soldering gun review and demo. Now, my only problem with this is that Americans pronounce soldering as soldering for some reason. Soldering. So let's see if we can get through a video.
Hello, folks.
Okay, so one issue is that they didn't even spell soldering correctly on the product. It's a soldering iron kit. If you're telling me this soldering iron is any good, and they can't even spell soldering...
Hello, folks. Well, I got a couple of really neat presents for Christmas. One is a tool and the subject of this video. And my next video is about a very unique toy that I got. So stay tuned for that.
This guy's got a great voice.
I do now, and I've done a lot of soldering in my lifetime.
Soldering! Soldering. What's going on there, America?
You know, while I was in the military or when I worked at Hughes Aircraft years ago, and of course I'm always soldering wires, lights, etc. on my RC models, which brings me to the reason I made this video. One of our subscribers,
he
made a comment that he had never seen a soldering iron like the one that I used in my last video. I figured if he hadn't, then maybe others had not seen one like this either. Well, I've seen something sort of like this back in the 50s and 60s, but I never saw one like this either. It may not be for everybody, but there's sure a place in my shop for this ingenious device. And note this, I'm not sponsored by anybody or Saker, and I always buy my own stuff, so I'm compelled to tell the truth. So here we go.
Wow, it's quite the wipe. Let's just have a look at that wipe again. The wipe effect. I think it's kind of appropriate.
You know, I've had plenty of soldering irons over the years. This one here and this one for my heavy duty.
That is old.
Fiddle portable pen cell one. But I've never had a soldering iron like this. Have you ever wanted to have a third hand when you're trying to solder? You know how hard it is? Well, look at this. This is what we got here. Well, this little kit's got everything. It's got a solder sucker on here. This is great. You all know how to use these, right? Put that down like that. And you put this on the solder and push the button and it sucks the solder right off the circuit board. I got one of those already. There's one. And it comes with the solder. And tweezers. Ooh, those are very sharp precision tweezers. This one's the same way.
Now, I'm pretty sure he said precision. I'm pretty sure he said precision. Like protection. Precision.
Ooh, those are very sharp precision tweezers.
Precision.
This one's the same way. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Okay. We got a spool for the solder and the soldering iron. Now,
soldering iron.
Is absolutely cool. It has an on-off switch, which is good because you don't have to unplug it all the time. And it feeds the solder right up to the tip through that. And you push the button. Oh, let's put this together and try it.
Someone's granddad
here.
you know?
It's real easy. This door opens up, and so you can see how you can replace the heating element. Here you can see how that mechanism works. Just feeds the solder just a tiny bit at a time.
That's pretty good.
Off of the spool. Right up to the point where you need it to be. So let's try it out.
When I was a little kid, my dad used to do soldering, because he's a bit of a sort of a technical kind of guy like that. And he was making some little circuit board thing, and he put the soldering iron back. And he didn't have one of those sort of, you know, it looks like a spring, and you rest it in that. He didn't have that. He just had a little stand that it rested on. And I came in the room, he'd walked off, because he wasn't a very good parent. He didn't really get kids. He was like, why would you do that? Because I was 6. That's why, because kids are not very smart. I grabbed the soldering iron. I remember it. The pain was unbelievable.
Well, don't lay this down on anything that's going to melt or burn. Only use a stand like this. Also note, it's going to smoke the first time you use it, so be aware of that. It's normal. Okay.
Yeah, the little wet sponge. But, I mean, I would never have... He didn't say to me, Teddy, because that's what they called me when I was little, this is hot, don't touch it. Like, I understood when I had little kids that you have to warn them about everything, even stuff that seems obvious. No scar. I was very little. It was like, and I just grabbed it for a second. Like, it wasn't like, ah! It was like, ah! Like that. So I burned my fingertips and my palm, I remember. that I can still feel, when you've burnt, if you have ever touched something really hot, the pain is like a lightning bolt up your arm. It's so sharp a sensation of pain. It's unbearable. But you just leave it on the side and wander off? Who does that? Who does that? My dad.
Hey, you know, when you only have one hand, usually you have to hold it with one and apply the solder with the other. You have to do this. You have to hold the solder with one hand, hold the wire with the other hand. At least you got some kind of a helper here. The problem is where you got to give a soldering iron. Okay, so let's give this a shot and see what happens. And hold these two wires together.
He's very shaky, bless him.
Oh, wow. That's pretty slick. Look at that. How about something heavy duty like this? Everybody knows what a pain in the ass these are.
He's old. When you get old, tell me if your hands are fucking steady.
All right. See, I can position this, and let's put the heat to it and see what happens. That's pretty good. Look at that. Well, again, I wish it had a stand, but if you've got one of these old soldering iron stands like this, all you got to do is lay it down like that. You're good to go. That's just common sense and done with any regular soldering irons. Well, Nexus, I don't usually solder with this strong of solder, which is almost like welding steel, but is strong. So it's easy enough to buy the kind of solder that you actually like, as this real fits all. So besides it being really handy, it only costs $32.95 on Amazon.com.
That says
so
$99.
I think that's a pretty good deal. So stay tuned for my toy video next, and Happy New Year. This is Dave the Night Flyer, signing off till the next episode.
I'm subscribing. What's the next vid? So wait, where's the one I watched? He's done a lot of vids. Can you find... Wait, this is Night Flyer. This is his channel. Motorized automatic guitar tuner. What are these? Lights improved since I began introducing RC. Oh, so he makes remote controlled things? He's reviewing drones. Where's the one we watched? So he does remote control stuff. Damn, my man is consistent. Alright, let's see when the vid was. It was 2 weeks ago. That's that one. Oh, yeah. It was right there, Perry. Here's the toy.
Hello, folks. I think this new toy I got is way better than this little spinner. Wait till you see how this works. Here we go.
The way it works is it magically can be suspended in the air. Let's try this out. Here we go.
Wow!
Oh. Look at that. And it has a high speed. Oh, let's just go ahead and...
Make it look like you're Dingus. That's what everyone would do. Come on. He's going to fly a remote-controlled helicopter through the string. Do not attempt this at home. Yes! Slow-mo. Come on, fly it into the string.
It's pretty cool. And it has second speed.
Whoa! Careful now, Dave. This lad knows what's up.
like magic.
Oh, and you just put the
USB port
yarn in.
and this color extra string and this color extra string. So easy enough to change this. I'm going to go ahead and show you. You pop this off. You pop that out. Take that string out.
Now, did he have to solder this string together or not? What's it good for? Sorry, VO. Are you not watching the vid? Are you not watching the vid? VO, look closely. Huh? I will say this. He spent more time playing with it than I could ever imagine in my life. I would go for 2 seconds and go, eh. But this guy, he's like in his garage for it.
Rechargeable, relaxing, and mesmerizing to play with.
That's what it does. It's rechargeable, relaxing, and mesmerizing to play with.
It's rechargeable, relaxing, and mesmerizing to play with. I really like it.
This guy's fucking great. This is one of the best review channels we've come across yet. Whoa, Dave, be careful. All right, he's a bit of a wild card.
The ticking is the joint in the string passing through the pinch rollers. Also, the motors automatically shut off if it gets tangled. If you fly a helicopter under it, you're going to experience a whole new dimension of frustration in untangling.
Go on, get the helicopter in it. Oh, shit!
But in normal use, if it gets tangled, it's really easy to untangle. Just don't pull the string real tight.
Of course. All right, you wanted to know what it's for? This is what it's for. Tormenting your cat. 100%.
Yeah, it's fun to play with the cats, but not recommended unless you like to untangle. Oh.
Okay, let it go.
Did you see their Christmas tree, by the way? Look at her face when she's playing with it. Just emotionless. Look at that tree. God, that's ugly. Look at this. The top of the fridge is all just remote control helicopters. He's got shit hanging on the walls. He's got like a Hot Wheels thing hanging on the walls. This looks like the utility closet area. But in the living room, it looks like this is her domain. Dave, no. I've told you before, no RC stuff in the rec room. In the living room. You keep it in the rec room. I've told no, Dave. In the garage, in the utility closet. You've got so much. But the upstairs and the living room area are my space. Okay? Okay. This lad has put a lot of effort into this vid. Right, but in America, I've been to quite a few American houses where they have the fridge and stuff out in the like utility area. Because they'll have like a huge fridge and a huge freezer. And then the kitchen is all surface space. I've seen it. I have seen it with my own eyes. They have much more room. What's the cat sitting on then? I don't know, let's have a look. I mean, that could be a kitchen counter, but what's all this guff on here? Why would you... If this is the kitchen, Munt, here's my question. If this is the kitchen, why have they got the cat bed in the middle of the kitchen? Who does that?
Yeah, it's fun to play with the... With this cool also comes...
We'll have to watch more vids.
I'll put a link in the description box so you can find it on Amazon too. Thanks a lot for watching, folks, and please stay tuned because you're not going to believe what's coming next.
Oh, you piqued my interest, Dave. I'm not even sure his name is Dave, but let's go with Dave. Could be like a basement bar area, could be. Because here's my thing. I don't think people would have the RC stuff all over the place and on top of the fridge, and then to have the fridge there and have a bar area with a stool and the cat box on top of it. Unless they just never sit there to eat. But even then, why would you have the cat bed and the cat blanket in your kitchen? I don't think so. I don't think so. I personally feel like that might have been a basement bar area. I think that's a decent show. Or he's got like an extra room off with big fridge freezer in there and like a bar area or something. It's American houses, dude. They got so much space they don't even know what to fucking put in there. They got no idea. Here's a funny story from my mate. Speaking of poor customer service, I went to a local panto yesterday. Awful, drawn out, unfunny amateur production of Robin Hood. There's probably about 500 people there, and loads of people had ordered interval drinks, which is a thing people do at the theatre a lot. So you can come out, neck your drink in the 10 minutes you've got, and then get back. When we come out at the interval, there's about 2 glasses of wine and a couple of beers on the side where the drinks are supposed to be. Everyone is moaning at the bar, "Where's my drinks?" The bloke behind the bar says all the drinks that have been pre-ordered are out, to which everyone tells him that's bollocks. Then one customer says, "What's that big pile of tickets over there?" There's a huge pile of receipts at the back of the bar. The barman picks them up and realizes he's supposed to have poured about 100 extra drinks. No idea how they took all those orders, then thought that pouring a handful of drinks was all that was needed. That's fantastic. I mean, yeah, when you go to the States, not in the city, but when you go out to small town America, Midwest America, even upstate New York and all these places, you see these houses and they're vast, vast spaces and they have land around them. It's insane. It's insane how much space they have. Because it's America, it's a huge country, and you can just, the land is cheap, you can have acres and acres of it. I mean, there's a reason whenever you go there, for one thing, a big house like that, I mean, if you think, I think about the stuff that goes wrong in my relatively small house, by American standards. For UK standards, I mean, we got 4 bedrooms, so it's not a small house. Technically, this is a bedroom, so I'm counting this as a 4th bedroom, even though it's more of a box room, really. So we'll say 3 bedrooms, 1 office, and then kitchen, living room. That's our house, right? And a bathroom, and then a downstairs toilet. That's my house. For London, that's a decent size. No off-road parking, very small rear garden. Front garden is about 6 feet deep. By US standards, that is tiny. You go to the States, Canada as well. And I'm telling you, I've been to some people's houses and you come in the front door and the downstairs sort of foyer area is bigger than the entire downstairs of my house. And then it'll have a huge staircase that's like wide enough to put a double bed up easily. Like you could just cart a double bed up there, no problemo. Huge kitchen, huge living room, backyard area. They've got a paved bit with a hot tub, and then just grass to fucking infinity. It's mad. I mean, obviously, the downside is you live in the middle of nowhere. Like, you're literally just living in your house. Maybe you'd see stuff with your neighbors, but there's no, going into the city or whatever is a big. There's a proper trip. You're driving in. If you want to go out for something to eat or you want to go to the bar, there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 places that are near enough, and you'd have to drive. So, I mean, it's great if you like that. It's a pretty mad amount of land. But yeah, I've been to those houses, and they just have these rooms. Everything's huge. I mean, American kitchens, if you ever go to an American supermarket or go to American Costco or like Home Depot or somewhere like that, everybody's buying tools. And they've got all, like, this section for garden care is like the size of a regular home base. It's just wall-to-wall garden care stuff. Because they've got much harsher weather than us in terms of extremes. And they have a lot of land to manage. So their lawnmowers are like tractors. It's insane. It's a lot of upkeep. Because if you think about the stuff that goes wrong in just your average British house, a bit of tiling here or a window crack there or this goes wrong. In the States, you've got a house of that size, there's always going to be something going wrong. And the weather extremes are that much worse. And they've got all kinds of other fucking insects and shit. You don't really get termites over here very much. They get them all the time. All kinds of shit. So there's a lot of maintenance. So there's a lot of need for DIY shit. Dave was a radar intercept officer in the Air Force and he flew F-4 Phantoms. Wow. We get woodworm over here. Yeah, we do. I mean, I have not known anyone who has a woodworm problem for some time. But I know people used to get woodworm. When we first moved in here back in, like, God, early 2000s or sometime, the old floorboard, the original floorboards were still down. And in some of the places where it had old carpet over it, we tore up the carpet, you see the original floorboards, and they've got holes throughout them. And it's just all woodworm, I mean, people do have their own tools over here for sure. And DIY is definitely a thing over here. But when I went to the States, it felt much bigger. Like, everybody had a lot more stuff. And also, bear in mind that a lot of people in the States have a garage, right? So they've got room to store bigger stuff that I would hire, I wouldn't buy. And it just feels like when I went to Home Depot, or there was another one we went to, Lowe's maybe? I don't know what it was called. Something like that. Kohl's? Lowe's? I don't know. You Americans will know. It's another big DIY kind of store. Something like it's a name like that. And it was massive. Lowe's. It was absolutely massive. And way more tools and stuff. And rammed. Loads of people buying stuff there. So, yeah, it felt like, I mean, there was the car park was rammed. People are buying tools, equipment, like just all the time. I've never been there and see it quiet. I go to home base or something near me sometimes. There's like hardly anybody in there. You know what I mean? I feel like in the States as well, if you're living out in the middle of fucking nowhere, you're generally having to do a lot more of that stuff yourself. Yeah, I just walk around. I just look like, oh, look at that drill. Erling Haaland scores a hat-trick. 7-4 Gears got a new video out. People are still unironically putting up videos that say things destroys with facts and logic, and they're serious. Wow, here's a channel called Women's Corner. Women's Corner. They spelled decision with an A. Make your decision easier. Unless that's meant to be an O? Make your decision easier. Best lightweight luggage for minimalists. This feels like it's going to be overdubbed.
Best carry-on luggage is the perfect solution for those organized and accessible, as well as a few small of adaptability. Remarked one test.
Who's making these channels? Oh shit. Collusion corner. I killed a man with a trident. Yeah. Brick killed a guy. That reminds me, Brick, you should probably get out of the city for a few days. Trouble at the old mill. Right, let's see if we can get all the way up to Golf Ball. We got one. Problem is, I have to get down that hill to get to CP fence. Maybe we just wait. We wait until late and then we just run down there. We can wait. I did notice the safe room was also unlooted, so we're going to go check that. I reckon he was on the top of one of the buildings in the middle. I've barely got any light on in here to try to add to the vibe. Oh, it was a PMC shooting at me, 100%. Because he had some kind of good gun. It may have been a scav who thought I was a PMC, but I think what's more likely is those guys got on the machine gun, one of them shot the other one, whoever this was shot that guy in the head, and then when his mate crawled up there, I shot him, and then when I went there to loot them, I was getting pinged at from behind that rock, which means they could be on the building directly opposite from there, on that rooftop, or they could be on one of the other rooftops nearby. Either way, getting down that hill and getting into CP is going to be very difficult, so we'll wait a bit. That guy will either think I died and come up there to loot my body. He was shooting me all the way up that bit. So I think he was on the rooftop directly opposite the machine gun nest. But given the accuracy, he was pinging around me and hitting me. I think he had a pretty decent scope. That's my guess. Yeah, but 10 shots at range. Couldn't even hear the gun. And I'm zigzagging up and down the hill. He got a headshot on me. It might have been a lucky headshot, but either way, he did tag me. I think I had... my deadly skull caught the round. I mean, for sure, whatever he was firing wasn't, like, amazing, because, you know, I'm alive. But this guy was killed by Get Unalived, so that's a player. There you go. And this guy was killed by Tiomo Dubina, who's a scav. Huh. So one was killed by a player, and I didn't kill the other guy. Oh, I'm Tiomo Dubina, of course. So I killed him because I'm a scav. I forgot I was on a scav. So that was me killing him, and then this was Get Unalived, who's a PMC with an AKM. Good point. I don't need to drink anything. I'm a scav. Jeez, look at this thing. Might have heard something on the left. But I thought I heard a bush noise.
Nice jump, Alistair.
H20S_ just resubbed for 2 months.
Nice jump, Alistair.
Grizzled Steel just resubbed for 4 months.
Six minutes left. Do we think people are already out? Big score. Got 2 of these now. Don't think the master toolkit is a big deal. We'll hold on to this funky gun.
Nice jump, Alistair.
The Troubled Panda just resubbed for 14 months. Damn, missed the year mark.
Thank you. actually can't hold on to any of these. Have you guys noticed that sometimes it gives you the option to use the sorting table, and sometimes it doesn't? Right, I'll be back at 8. We're doing Cthulhu this evening. I hope you can join me for that. It'll be DM Munt. It's me, Ashwin, Plague, Gregors, and Miles, I think. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys can join me then. See you at 8 p.m. if you're up for it. Peace out.